Do the two of you feel like you have so many goals you want to achieve, but you're not making any real progress on them? Today, I'm going to share how you two can work together to nail your goals and start saving money for them. Welcome to the Couple Money Podcast, the show where we share stories and advice on building up your marriage and wealth together. I'm Elle Martinez. Support for this podcast comes from Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money Masterclass. This course is designed to help you two get on the same page with money, dump your debt faster, and get you on the path to financial freedom. Sign up for the class today and get lifetime access. Just head over to couplemoney.com/jumpstart. One of the things I love about our community here at Couple Money is how you guys keep me in the loop with how things are going. I appreciate those emails, tweets, those messages that you send. I get really fired up hearing about your wins. But as you probably imagine, I sometimes hear about the questions you have, struggles you're having, especially when it comes to saving for your dreams. And of course, every couple has their own situation and story, but there are 3 areas where it seems like there's a lot of questions, and I think I can help you out today. The 3 big ones are getting your spouse on board with savings in general. Maybe you're the saver and they're the spender. Also, getting on the same page with your goals. How do you choose? Most of us have several goals that we want to try and achieve, but we can't get anywhere. How do you focus your attention on those? And then finally, finding money to save. It's great that we want to save for our trips, retirement, maybe kids' college funds, whatever. But if you don't have the money, you're not going to get anywhere. So I thought as part of this summer series, we can touch on those topics today. I want you two to succeed when it comes to saving for your dreams together. Wouldn't it be great if the two of you were on the same page since day one? Unfortunately, that's not the case with most couples that reach out to me. And it wasn't the case for us when we were first engaged and we got married. If you had to label us, my husband would be what you call the natural saver, and I was the spender. And I wouldn't call things perfect, but we have reached many of our goals together. And it had to do with changing our mindset and how we approach savings. And since I was the spouse that was the spender, I can tell you that it is possible to work through things together. I don't see myself as a spender now, but as a doer. And shifting not only my mindset, but the process on how we approach things has made all the difference. Saving used to feel like being a chore or punishment. Now it's something enjoyable. We're moving forward on things that are important to us while still having fun now. So I want to share just a few things that have made all the difference. The first thing is when you are creating these goals and you want your spouse to become a saver, many times it's the process with how you come up with these goals that can make or break things. Are you someone that loves to budget? Maybe you have it down to the penny. Well, one thing that was very frustrating to me and to a lot of people that are naturally spenders is that the budget isn't realistic. And when you come up with that savings goal for that perfect budget, it tends to be too aggressive. There's no room for any fun. You're hardcore focused on that goal. And that can be discouraging because none of us can keep a perfect budget. We all make mistakes. And when we're frustrated, it is easier to quit than to keep things. So my tip to you is when you create a savings goal, make it realistic and then also make sure that the savings speed that you're going at matches the two of you. Do you have enough in there where, yes, you're saving towards what you feel is important? Maybe it's a foundational goal, such as saving for emergency, or maybe it's to save for a trip because you guys want to go debt-free. That's fine. Just make sure if you're the go-to person when it comes to writing it out, that you're both involved and you talk it over. What's realistic for the two of you? And then move towards that. Something that's also helpful is say that you know you have a big goal and you want to achieve it fast. I get that. But see if you can grow it in increments. If you guys not both savers, and you're saying, you know what, we're going to put $1,000 each month, and in 3 months, we're going to reach our goals. Maybe instead set aside and say, we're going to save $300 each month, or even $200 each month, because it's more important for the two of you to work together and keep things sustainable than come up with a goal that's so aggressive that the other person just isn't involved or they aren't on board, and then the two of you aren't working together. Now it becomes a wedge instead of something that can help you work as a team. And also, let's look at the positive. Have you ever thought of having some rewards for when you achieve certain milestones? That can make a big difference too, especially if you have someone that naturally wants to enjoy the money now. Not that they want to sabotage their future, but see if you can come up with a compromise. Maybe every time you save 1 month of expenses or necessary expenses for your emergency fund, you go out on a cheap date. Whatever the reward system you come up with, just make sure it reflects both of you. We want to make savings a lot more fun and make it a natural part of your conversations and your financial system. Like many couples, we usually have several goals going on that we're working to achieve together. And like many couples, when we start out, we don't always agree on what they are and when we like to do that. So how do you work as a team to choose your goals, not only the ones that you're going to do, but the time frame? Well, I'm going to give you an example. With us, we sat down at the beginning of the year and we said, okay, let's look at our budget and what are the 3 things that we want to do? And the first step is sorting your goals by their size and about the timetable that you want to have them finished. So for us, the 3 goals were, we do want to pay down our mortgage faster. We want to finish our basement. It's half done. We'd like to finish that off. And we want to travel more. So if you look at those goals on the surface, you might be saying, okay, there's no way that you can achieve everything unless you're making a ton of money. And to a degree, you're right. We're going to have to prioritize that. So what we did is we sat down and we talked about which ones are the most important to us, which ones we definitely want to finish this year, and which ones do we want to make some significant progress this year, and then see if we can finish off in the next year or so. And what we decided to do is we're coming up with some trips. Originally, I had a big trip involved, but we sat down and talked about those other goals that we had. Paying off our mortgage faster is a big goal that we want to achieve, but we know that's not going to get done this year. Another one with the saving up for the basement, we're going to do that in steps. So the first step is to get an estimate. We got a very general ballpark figure, but we're going to get 3 estimates from contractors in the area and see how much that's going to be. In the meantime, we are saving enough money for about 1/3 of the price that we have for our ballpark figure. So with those numbers in mind, we then looked at our budget and we said, how much can we put aside towards saving for that? It took a lot of work, but to take care of the basement and also our trip that we're planning, we're setting aside an extra $500 a month in savings. So it's not a perfect system, but we're really happy with how things are going. So how about you? How do you guys choose your goals? Well, you can try what we've done. Go ahead, set aside some time, just sit down and write down 3 goals each. You don't have to look at each other's answers right now, and come up with what goals you want to achieve. Some of them you could do this year. Some may be a couple years off, and then you might have a long-term goal that you really would like to do. And then when you come up with your goals, talk about them, not just what your goals are, but why it's important to you. I think sometimes we miss that as couples. We automatically make assumptions on the whys. And really, if you're going to come up with a solution that makes both of you happy, it makes things so much easier when you understand where your partner is coming from. And so that next step is finding a compromise. Work together, not only the goals that you are going to achieve, but the timetable that you have them for. And then the 4th step is make a budget based on what you both planned. And again, make sure that it's realistic and that you're not giving up some fun now. And then things change, life happens. So the 5th step is review it regularly. And you know I love money dates. These are great opportunities for you guys to check in with each other, make adjustments as needed, and encourage each other to stick with your plan and to reach your dreams. All right, the two of you are both on board and ready to build up your stash. There's just one problem. Where is this money coming from? Last week on the podcast, we covered some ways to find and save money. So please listen, if you haven't already, to that episode and get some quick wins. And if you're looking for a deep dive, my book, Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money, goes into it all. It's based not only on our personal experience, but after listening and interviewing couples who are completely debt-free, some who have retired and are financially independent, I found that there were certain patterns and certain things that kept coming up with how they were getting those big wins that can make a huge difference for you. But it really does boil down to 3 key areas. When you're trying to get money to reach your goals, you're going to look for ways that you can find money already in your budget. Where can you cut back and optimize your expenses? We're also looking for areas that you can save. We naturally have to spend. Maybe you can find some partners that can help you save some more money. And then third, opportunities to earn more money. This is depending on your skill set and your interests, this can be a huge win for you. Maybe you can start a side hustle, a hobby, or maybe pivot into a different career. These are opportunities for you guys to really shine as a couple because we all naturally gravitate towards one of these areas. One of you might be a great saver and you can optimize expenses and negotiate with your bills and get better rates. The other spouse might be the one who is fantastic at negotiating raises, or maybe working on the side from home, doing a side hustle, or being a part of the share economy and getting that extra income. The two of you can tackle these together and really grow that gap between what you're bringing in and what you're spending, so you have more money to use towards knocking out your debt or stashing away for financial freedom or any of your personal goals. Thanks so much for joining me today. As always, if you want to check out any of the resources we covered today, go over to the show notes at Couple Money. I also have links to my free 5 Days to 5K course and my book, Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money, where we get into the nitty-gritty of setting up not only your saving system, but your entire finances. I want you to both be happy with where you're going and how you're taking care of your money. Our theme song today was written and performed by Gentle Regime. Additional music by Lee Rosevier and Music for Makers. And most importantly, thank you again for your support. I really appreciate the reviews you're leaving on iTunes and the fact that you are sharing these episodes with your friends. Thank you so much. I want to make these conversations about marriage and money less stressful and more about the two of you being on the same side and tackling your biggest dreams together. I hope you have a great week. Take care.